Here's our first matchup of the night. It's Mark Hall against Don the Predator Frye. Both guys have been in the UFC. Of course, Frye's undefeated. He's 4-0. And Mark Hall comes off that super victory over Koji Katao, the 400-pound sumo wrestler. So he's coming in with a bit of confidence, but he's got a tall task here. The tail of the tape for this first quarterfinal bout. Mark Hall, Muay Do is his discipline, 4th-degree black belt. Donnie Frye, Greco-Roman wrestler. Hall comes in. He's 35 years of age. Frye is 30. You can see Frye with the weight advantage. Not much difference in height. One from California and one is from Arizona. Mark Hall, first man making his way to the octagon tonight. From Murrieta, California, in his 4th UFC, with a record of 3-1. Mark Hall, a teacher at a 6,000 square foot martial arts school, Muay Do and Street Combat Applications Training Center in Murrieta, California, managed by Jerry Dupuy.
Hall, a tremendous athlete. You saw him take out Kitao in the last one. Big man, 340, 360 pounds, and he took him out with a shot to the nose that broke the Japanese sumo wrestler and his hopes of making success here at the UFC. Hall, Muay Do, he's a tactician. He's a real thinker when he goes out there. He's a great striker, and he likes to hide his ground skills. He has jiu-jitsu experience. He will be able to defend himself if he goes down, and he's capable of striking with more than his hands.
And, Jeff, a word that's not up there.
Jerry, you take
fearless.
Care of your fighter. Got it?
Without a doubt, he will stand out there and go with whoever is in front of him, whether big, little, mean, or whatever.
Well, let's have Mark Hall, as the Rolling Stones would say, introduce himself.
I believe I've proven my martial art abilities with a record of 3-1 in the octagon. My only loss to Paul Varlins, whom I know I can beat with a rematch. I'm here to do honor to my Dojin M World Grandmaster Tiger Yang in UFC 10.
Mark Hall, he is ready, but then again, he's always ready. Here comes a man that many consider the best all-around fighter in the UFC. The Predator, Don Frye, from Sierra Vista, Arizona. 4-0 in the UFC. UFC 8 champion in UFC 9, which was a bout format. He won his match convincingly. 700-plus victories in freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling.
He has a good background from Arizona State and Oklahoma State in grappling, and what shocked us all was his striking ability. Tremendous hand speed, tremendous power in very short punches. Has some pro boxing experience. He is a good grappler, though we haven't seen him fight on the ground yet. It says prefers a stand-up fight, but he's somebody that gets angry when he hears that. He says he can fight on the ground, and he will hit you while he's on the ground.
All right, let's find out about Don Frye's approach to UFC 10.
I'm Don Frye, returning Ultimate Fighting Champion. I'm not here to prove my skills. I know what I can do. I'm not here to say hi to anybody. I am not at rest. I am not at peace. I have a real bad attitude. And when I go into the octagon, lock up your women and children, because all hell is going to break loose.
Well, the Tom Selleck lookalike says he likes to retain his anger. He does not want to go into the octagon happy.
No, he's somebody that wants to go in there with an attitude. He said his dog was killed in an accident, and he used that to motivate himself.
All right, we're set for the formal introductions, and right now let's go to Bruce Buffer.
SCG Sports Corporation welcomes you to the State Fair Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, for the greatest martial arts competition in the world, the Ultimate Fighting Championship number 10. 8 of the world's toughest fighters will walk into this octagon tonight. 3 veterans, 5 challengers, and only 1 will emerge victorious. Tonight, there are no weight classes, no rounds, and no timeouts. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready for the Ultimate Fighting Championship number 10. Our first bout of the evening. Please welcome back to the octagon a veteran of UFC number 7, the Ultimate, and UFC 9. He's a 4th degree black belt in the art of Muay Do, with black belts in Taekwondo and American Karate. He's got a UFC record of 3-1. He's 35 years old, 6 feet, 189 pounds, fighting out of Murrieta, California. The one, the only, Mark Hall! And to my right, standing at 6 feet, 1 inch tall, and weighing in at 214 pounds. He's 30 years old, a Greco-Roman wrestler with a 2nd degree black belt in the art of judo. Fighting out of Sierra Vista, Arizona, he's undefeated in the octagon. Please welcome the defending Ultimate Fighting Champion, the Predator, Don Frye.
All right, look out. When Don Frye is ready to rock, anything can happen in the octagon. He's fast and he's furious. Don't blink. The Predator against fearless Mark Hall.
And Hall did catch him with a reverse kick.
A body slam by Frye.
Frye with a beautiful takedown put Hall on his back. But Hall came out and caught the Predator with a kick to the midsection. And the Predator is now taking away pieces of Hall's midsection.
Oh my, he's got the best punching ability maybe in the UFC.
He's trying to pass that guard now. If he can clear his right leg, he'll be in a position to really go after Mark Hall.
The Predator grabs both legs of Hall. Hall hanging tough.
Now
trying to fight back, but not much doing there.
Full
Frye
guard
goes
position.
Back to the body.
Full guard position there now. Now we'll see what Frye can do against someone that does have good experience with going ahead and working the guard.
Hall's giving away 25 pounds. And Frye is known as the wrestler. He's an Arizona State wrestler for 4 years, Oklahoma State for another. Won the Las Vegas qualifier in Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling, but he can punch too.
Short, crisp punches.
A little bit of a headbutt.
Those aren't really going to do a lot of damage.
Oh, that stuff eats at your body for a while, Jeff.
Takes time. You have to accumulate those, but those aren't the big, heavy shots. Not what we're accustomed to from Don Frye.
He's going to the solar plexus again, though. Chopping at the kidney. And Mark Hall putting up some resistance, trying to throw a punch or so, but he's just being outhandled physically.
You can see marks on the side of Mark Hall now. You were right. The accumulation of those short shots will add up to damage.
Hall punching back, the headbutt from Frye.
Work him, Mark, work him.
Indication of how, even though they're short punches, how much power Frye does have in them. His boxing skills are very good, especially when you combine them with how lethal he is as a grappler. And Hall fighting back.
Frye trying to keep the reins on Mark Hall. We know that Mark can punch, and aggressively took out Koji Kitao with 400 pounds. Again, chopping away at that body. And that does hurt.
I've always wondered if they get really high in the guard. In other words, he's up over his opponent's face. Why can't he bring an elbow back and try to hit him in the thigh? And that really could cause a hematoma, a Charlie horse, if you will, and really reduce mobility. Right there. Bring it right back into that quad.
Work it, Mark. Get out of there.
Again, it's Don Frye on top, using that left hand, chopping away at the midsection of Mark Hall.
If you put that elbow right at the bottom of the quad above the knee, that could really cause swelling.
That's a lot of punches Hall's taking, trying to use the foot as a weapon.
You can see those bruises already on the ribs.
Those punches, and now a punch to the face.
That's just a chop, but it was effective.
Look out, another punch to the head by the Predator.
It is hard to believe that Hall is letting him hit that same side.
I don't think he can do much about it.
You hear that dull thunk, that hollow sound of him hitting those ribs.
And the mouthpiece is popped out. That's a sign of fatigue. I believe it was Hall's mouthpiece. Predator, it's a tricky role now because he's in the tournament, knows he's going to have to win 3 times in a night, doesn't want to exert too much power, but if he doesn't put him away, he figures, well, then he's going to have to go to full time limit.
That is correct. That is part of the tournament strategy here. You can go out, punch once in the head and miss, and wind up breaking your ankle. You have to think beyond the one fight, even though if you don't win the fight, you can't advance. So it's a very delicate, fine line you walk.
Over 4 minutes in, it's been all Don Frye, the Predator.
And continues to be.
And you can see those bruises.
I don't want to sneeze if I'm him tomorrow.
Well,
but Hall is fearless. You have to give him credit. He was unafraid. He was very composed. He wasn't panicking here.
Frye is trying to figure out how to end this without exerting too much strength. And he goes back to that one area which is really going to hurt in the morning.
Well, he hasn't really done anything to try to pass the guard yet. He hasn't tried to take his hips and move those legs around him.
Well, do you think it behooves him to try to make a move or not?
I wonder if it's a sign of whether or not he is really well-versed against an experienced UFC fighter in being able to pass the guard and being able to pass the test of the guard. This seems to be the wrestler's one shortcoming, is being able to beat the guard.
Don continues to work. He's a guy with the speed of a middleweight, the strength of a heavyweight. That makes for double trouble.
You got to believe Don Frye's right arm is getting a little bit tired by now.
Back to the solar plexus, Jeff.
Racking up big points here.
It's actually closer to the middle of the rib cage, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I don't think Hall's got much energy left, and I don't know if he doesn't make a move here soon. Referee John McCarthy is either going to have a restart or he might end the fight.
As long as Frye stays active like this, the referee probably won't do anything. It's when you just lay there that he's going to stop it and bring you up to your feet.
Hall with a slight flurry. 12-minute time limit. 1 3-minute OT in the quarters.
Perhaps he heard you. He seems to be becoming more active on bottom, trying to create openings for shots. Elbows and hands, even though he's not in a good position to put power behind him, he is still nonetheless trying to get some offense going. And if Frye gets him bucked up against that octagon fence, once again, he'll be in a position where he can't move because he's bound up by Frye's body and the fence. And if Frye can time his release to create distance, he can get a couple shots in. But look at that set of ribs, Bruce.
Mark's only loss in the UFC is to Paul Varland's a big man. Again, here he's giving away weight and also giving away power. He's still working that leg. Here's the medal of Mark Hall. But I just think he's outmatched here physically.
Well, the Predator so far has impressed people with his ability, most of all with his versatility and adaptability once he gets into the octagon. But a real good fight being put up by Mark Hall. He is not going to go away easy.
Hall now with his head up against the fence. Predator, same area, punching to the same part of the body.
It's an effective tactic. Even if he's not going to do damage, he realizes by being busy, I keep him right here.
Now he tries to go to the head. He scored a couple times there. And referee John McCarthy looking over towards the corner of Mark Hall. Wants Jerry Dupuy to see the damage that's being done by Frye.
Get out of there!
The corner does have the option to throw that towel in.
Paul, a good job here. He spent some time on his back. He is not letting Frye have one clean shot at his head. However, he is giving up his body. He is accepting the trade of not getting hit in the head for getting hit in the body.
Frye continues to work, though. He has not relaxed at all. Couple of headbutts there.
In this heat, you can see the lacquer of sweat on both bodies here. Makes it very difficult to get a good, clean bite.
Oh, punch to the head, another punch to the head by Frye.
And here's an opportunity. This is where the fence works
Hall
against.
threw a punch up, but he got nailed again.
There's the elbow. I was wondering when Frye would try to use that.
3 minutes to go in regulation. Jerry Dupuy's got a close hand on that towel in Paul's corner. I don't know how much more punishment he's going to allow.
Those ribs are just looking as though they're bleeding. They're so black and blue. But not one of those punches
There's a lot of punishment to absorb.
It's not one of those punches has caused Hall to really even waver. But what they are doing is they are making a real hematoma on those ribs.
Oh, punch upstairs. I don't know. He's dominating. Jerry Dupuy's got that towel up a little bit higher.
You need to quit.
Frye continues to punch away.
You can.
And Hall continues to fight gallantly.
You can't quit. Quit
He is not going to go away, not with his ribs. Unless Hall can break a rib, I don't think you're going to see Mark Hall want to submit out of this or even begin to tap out. His corner may feel it's a hopeless situation, but Hall is not going to give up.
But in the UFC, Jeff, there is balance.
Oh, absolutely, and on it. And on it. You heard Frye say that he respects anyone who walks through that door of the octagon.
Frye's worked very hard on finishing, and referee John McCarthy steps in there. And I believe, is he ended it, or is he restarting it?
And I think that might be it.
I think that's it.
I think that's going to be it.
I don't think he can allow him to take any more punishment. John wants the doctor to take a look. He wants the doctor to take a look, Dr. Richard Istrigo.
Hall is not looking like a warrior at the moment. He seems to be feeling the pain, and I think that's going to do it.
That's going to be it. Even though he doesn't want to stop, he's got such tremendous courage, but there's no question that
the Predator
is one-sided.
Ladies and gentlemen,
came out and took a bite out of his side.
The winner of our first bout, Don Frye.
Oh, look at that embrace, the mutual respect. Great competitor, Mark Hall, but he was just out-handled by the power of Frye. And I think a good stoppage.
Oh, great call by John McCarthy. You don't see Mark Hall really complaining. And at the very beginning, this was the one good kick that Hall got in, and it caught Frye, but Frye immediately got in, looked like he was going to body lock him, and just slammed him to his back, and then started that relentless punching.
Jeff, he was talking about a secret weapon yesterday. That might have been it, right?
He might have thought that he could sneak one right in the midsection and take Frye out if he hits him in the solar plexus, but he ended up on his back, and the Predator took bites out of his side with those short, choppy punches.
Hey, it's the #1 guy.
So the Predator remains undefeated. 5